Minnesota's sports hub. It's the Morning Sports Desk, presented by Wadena's Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. Available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and streaming on YouTube.
Powered by Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. It's another episode of the Morning Sports Desk. I'm CJ Baumgartner. No Corey Tackman today, but we are rolling because we have just so many things to talk about in the world of high school sports. We have another round of section volleyball coming up tomorrow night. We have section semifinal football matches and dates all set. We're going to talk about it all coming up, but first, we got to talk about the good folks over at the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. Before we get too crazy talking about all of this, but you know what is crazy? The Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. Look at all the stuff you could win when you go to the FunZone Arcade. They have a big congratulations post up on their Facebook page talking about their newest winner who was able to turn in all of their prizes and winnings for a best indoor safe propane heater. Just in time for the fall chill, just in time for the deer stand or the ice house or whatever it is. You don't just get your typical, obviously there's candy, there's toys, there's prizes and behind the wall there, but there's big prizes like you can see in the corner, a Kirill Kaprizov jersey, a mystery jersey box. Those are autographed, by the way. You also have things like PlayStations, you have buddy heaters, you have so many different things you could win over at the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. It's awesome. There's so many things that you can do. The Fun Zone is open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. Bring your friends, play your favorite games, and see what awesome prizes you can take home. And remember, it's half price play Mondays, not to be confused with double point Wednesdays, which are also a thing at the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. Plenty of ways to win. And of course, you're always winning when you go to their legendary buffet and you have the country's best chicken, the mashed potatoes, the pizza, the breadsticks, the cactus bread dessert pizza, the salad bar, the ice cream. There is so much to enjoy at the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena, proud sponsors of the Morning Sports Desk. All right, let's dive into a busy weekend of high school sports action. We are going to start things out by taking a little bracket watch in the section volleyball standings. We had a little bit of movement going on throughout the weekend, and let's start things off by going in section 8AA. I'm just recapping a little bit of my match that I had between the Wadena Deer Creek Wolverines and the Roseau Rams, and my goodness, did we get a good one. It went down to 5 sets. Wadena Deer Creek took the first 2. Roseau came storming back, and it looked like Wadena Deer Creek couldn't get anything going offensively. They couldn't get anything going defensively, and Roseau just had all the momentum in the world. But here's the funny thing about momentum in sports. It matters incredibly. It's incredibly important. But it also doesn't matter at the same time when you're talking about momentum. Sometimes it just comes down to who can make a play in that particular moment. It's why coaches always hound the, hey, just focus on this play, one play at a time, all that kind of stuff, because all the momentum in the world can be ended with a gigantic play. Momentum is great. Momentum is not everything, though. And that's why Wadena Deer Creek rolled out to a 5-1 lead in the 5th set and was able to go on to win that one and get a big upset in Roseau, taking down the 3-seeded Rams. The Wadena Deer Creek Wolverines now have a date with the East Grand Forks Green Wave, who got an upset win over the 2-seeded Dilworth Glendon Felton in straight sets. So the Green Wave and the Wolverines have a match set tomorrow night from Moorhead High School. That is where the high school league says that those games will be at. On the other side of the bracket is the number 1-seeded Holly and the 5th-seeded Frazee, who got an upset win over Perham in 5 sets as well. Frazee came storming back to win the final 3 sets after being down 2 sets to none. What a match. What a night on Friday night across central Minnesota. Minnewaska area in volleyball, they beat St. Cloud Cathedral 3 sets to none. They advance. Sauk Center beats Royalton in straight sets, 1-4. Minnewaska area high school, 7 o'clock tomorrow night. 7 o'clock tomorrow night in Albany as the Huskies took down Malacca 3 sets to none. Foley upsetting Pequot Lakes in 4 sets. The 6-seeded Falcons took down the 3-seeded Patriots. and now Albany playing Foley in that one. Let's take a look in Section 6A, where we had more movement as the Belgrade Bruton El Rosa Jaguars beat Park Christian in straight sets. Nothing doing there. BBE, the 1 seed in that section. Hillcrest Lutheran Academy taking down Lake Park Audubon in straight sets. So that means the Comets will take on the Jaguars at Fergus Falls High School, 6 o'clock tomorrow night. The other game we're going to have coverage on the Superstation K106, Parker's Prairie, the 2 seed, beating Clinton Graceville Beardsley 3-0. They advanced to take on West Central Area, who the 6-seeded Knights upset the 3-seeded Breckenridge Cowgirls to advance. So Parker's Prairie versus West Central Area, 7:45 pregame, 8 o'clock first serve on the Superstation K106. We'll preview that game more tomorrow as well, but more movement in that section, more upsets aplenty. In Section 5A, had some upsets as well. Swanville, though, there wasn't one. The 1-seeded Bulldogs beat Ogilvie 3-0. Then Pine River Bacchus topped Mille Lacs 3-0. So Swanville, Pine River Bacchus will play Crosby Ironton High School tomorrow night. So will Nevis, who beat Bertha Hewitt in 4 sets. And Verndale, who upset Sabika in the 3-2 matchup, 3-0. Nevis versus Verndale tomorrow night at Crosby Ironton High School, and Swanville, Pine River Bacchus as well. And that's kind of our volleyball bracket update. By the way, we will have coverage of Wadena Deer Creek and East Grand Forks. That'll be on 101.7 FM and AM 920 KWAD and online at wadenaradio.com/KWAD. That'll also be a 7:45 pregame, 8 o'clock first serve from Moorhead High School. Going to be a late night for me and Corey, but these games are fun. They're just awesome, and it's so glad that we get to be a part of it and we get to do it and all that stuff. So that's your catch up in section in volleyball. Let's catch up in section football as we take a look in our brackets. And I just want to start out with a little game that we had in Parker's Prairie as the Panthers were hosting the Walker Hackensack Akeley Wolves in the 2-3 matchup. Both teams coming in at 8-1 in the year. Parker's Prairie took care of business with a 52-0 victory. I had the opportunity to be there and call that game on the Superstation K106. Want to play you a little clip just so you can see what things look like in that game. Here's just a little taste of what Parker's Prairie was able to do. One wide receiver out on that far side of the field. It's A.J. Woodworth. Ball in the left hash mark. Back to pass. Goes Basil. Looks, scrambles to the right side. He's got all kinds of room to run, and he's going to go into the end zone. Touchdown, Parker's Prairie. On a 20-yard rushing touchdown by Nolan Basil. That was a drawn-up pass play. Great night. But he had some pressure coming in his face initially. I should say football. And with that ball being spotted on the left hash mark, had all kinds of room to run to the right side. And what a good block. They rolled. That looked to be Zach Kep on there, sealing that edge. And just that was it. Once he was able to get past there, all the wide receivers were going downfield. Nobody was able to stop him. And it's a between Nolan Basil, Prairie, and Breckenridge. Last year was in Breckenridge. Parker's Prairie got the upset. Now the Panthers trying to get another upset, taking on the Cowboys from the Fargo Dome. It's a 12:10 pregame, 12:30 kickoff. We're going to have coverage of that game on the Superstation K106, 105.9 FM, streaming online at wadenaradio.com or the Superstation K106 mobile app. Over in Section 5A, Upsala-Swanville area beats Browerville-Eagle Valley 42-0. And Ashby, Brandon Evansville falls to Belgrade Bruton El Rosa 6-0. So we get another matchup in the Fargo Dome of Upsala-Swanville area and Belgrade Bruton El Rosa. Gonna be a fun one from the Dome. Taking a look in Class 9-man football in Section 4, Hillcrest Lutheran Academy beats Rossay 50-22. They're going to take on Border West, who beat Hancock 16-8. Hillcrest Lutheran Academy versus Border West at the Fargo Dome, 11:30 a.m. kickoff on Thursday morning. And in Section 5, Cromwell Wright area beat Mille Lacs 23-6. So Cromwell Wright area once again advancing to the section title game, and the Cardinals are the defending Section 5 champions, so trying to defend that title, and they are going to take on Bertha Hewitt, who got a 26-22 victory against Ogilvie. Bears are down 20-6 at halftime. They come roaring back with 20 unanswered points, but they needed one final stop to seal the deal. Here is a little clip of what that sounded like from the football field in Bertha on Saturday night. 1:45 on the clock. 4th and 3. Ball on the 49-yard line. Ogilvie needs a first down. In the shotgun is Kimball. Putting a man in motion, it's Magard. It's a quarterback keeper. Bertha Hewitt gets the stop right at the line of scrimmage. And Bertha Hewitt gets the turnover on downs again in the second half. What a performance by this Bears defense. Another great game for Bertha Hewitt. It was a quarterback keeper to the right side just saying, hey, go feel it out. Try and get the yardage, and Bertha Hewitt right there in on the stop. When they're a couple different blue jerseys in there, and Zeke, Bertha Hewitt still has to hang on to the football. Ogilvie has one timeout. Program, and really cool for the old alma mater to be doing. Ogilvie has one timeout left, and Bertha Hewitt's going to take another one here. Have that moment on Bertha Hewitt's going to take another one, mainly because they looked at the play clock and saw they were not going to have enough time to get a play call. Right up at that, they were too busy celebrating a little bit. But this game isn't over yet. It was huge, but Bertha Hewitt still got to take care of business. They cannot. On Facebook. Just overall a really fun night of high school sports, and just awesome to get to do 2 in one day and get to go to both those spots. And I'll be covering both of them in their section championship games. Bertha Hewitt is going to take on Cromwell Wright area on Thursday night, 6 o'clock kickoff from Brainerd High School. Going to be a fun one. Let's take a look at Section 6 AA, because that was another section of contention here. One of the best sections in all of football, but one of the games Holding Ford just showed they are one of the best teams in the state. They beat Staples Motley 41-0. Cardinals do not get to defend their section title, and that is at end of the year for the Cardinals, who again had a great season, and there's at least half the sections in AA where they would be the 1 seed and have a cakewalk to the state tournament, but here they end on that second round Saturday. Congrats to Coach Potter and the Cardinals on a great season. Over on the other side, Pillager versus Osakis, and for the second year in a row, the Silver Streaks stun the Huskies in their home field, 30-22 the score, as the Silver Streaks scored with 27 seconds to go in the game. And Osakis going back to the Fargo Dome for the third straight year, where they will take on Holdingford. Osakis and Holdingford, these two teams met earlier in the year. Holdingford got the win. Got to imagine the Huskers are going to be favored, but hard to beat a team twice in a year. We'll see what happens in that one. By the way, our guy Zeke has a full breakdown of those section games and kind of where things look going ahead. When you go to WadenaRadio.com or follow Sports Cow on Facebook, can I get a moo? And this is normally the part where Corey or Zeke goes, moo. And then we roll. Taking a look at our state sports, let's wrap things up here. Talking a little Minnesota Timberwolves. And before we get any further, the Timberwolves had their home opener last night. And look at this. This is beautiful. It's glorious. Brings a tear to my eye. So much nostalgia. So it just looks so good. The old school late 90s, early 2000s Target Center court. Not only does it have the old Timberwolf with the trees logo, but it also has the tile style hardwood where it has all the squares and things like that throughout the arena. It just is so clean. It looks so great. I don't know why the Wolves ever switched. It's awesome. It's so good. I can't get over it. I love it so much. You got the warm-ups with the big wolf head on them. You got Julius Randle rocking the Black Trees uniform. It was just great. It was awesome. And on top of that, the Minnesota Timberwolves got a big win, 114-110 over the Indiana Pacers last night. Now, the Pacers were depleted, but hey, so were the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards went out in the early minutes with a hamstring tightness is what they said. And it was scary for a moment, but Anthony Edwards, according to reports, is fine. He is expected to play tonight against the Denver Nuggets because he kind of knew, hey, this is night one of a back-to-back. I'm a little tight here, but I want to take myself out of the game to give myself an opportunity to play against a Western Conference and divisional opponent that is much more important to play against than playing against the Pacers, who didn't have Tyrese Halliburton and a few other guys. It was not the Obi Toppin game like it was a year ago. It was instead the Julius Randle game, as he scored 31 points. And also Rudy Gobert had a great game defensively as well. A lot of good things from the Timberwolves in that game. A lot of things that aren't so great, mainly Mike Conley, but we'll talk about that at a later date. We'll let some more things cook. We're only 3 games into the season here for the Minnesota Timberwolves, but I still can't get over the jerseys. They look great. They have so much aura, as they say. And not only that, but the Wolves have this now, they call it theater style lighting, and you can kind of see it on the court. Really just an effort to really kind of put more light into the arena and just kind of highlight the seating down below. And it looks great. Honestly, I can't really tell the difference from last year, but players like it. People in the who are at the game like it. And in fact, here is Wolves defender Jalen Clark talking a little bit about this game and about also just the fact of the new theater lights at Target Center. Jalen, what do you got to say?
What do you think of the lights, Joe?
Oh, it's dope. It reminds me of like LA or like Madison Square. It made it hard for me to find my mom and girlfriend, but yeah, but I like the whole atmosphere here, man. Minnesota's dope. I be telling everybody back in California, because like when we grow up, Minnesota is just kind of like somewhere in the middle of the map that we don't really know. So like what I be telling them is actually like we actually care about sports here. Like in LA, it's kind of, I mean, y'all have been, it's just there for the show when you go home. Like here, people actually care about it. They bleed Vikings, Timberwolves, Twins. So it's just super dope, man. I've had a great time since I've been here.
Notice how he left Wild out of there, but we'll give him a pass on that one because, well, do you really want to think about the Wild either? Do you really want to think about the Twins either? Do you really want to think about the Vikings right now? Do you want to think about the Gophers? Jalen Clark, you are all we have. Minnesota Timberwolves, you are all we have right now to hang on to for Minnesota sports positivity, which is awesome. Not really. Maybe Gopher basketball be good. Maybe. Hey, my Bemidji State Beavers got a win over the weekend, so I will take solace in that. They whooped up on Jamestown. 3 wins in a row. Let's go. Let's go, Beavs. Let's go, Beavs. They also took 5 out of 6 points from Augustana in men's hockey this weekend. Let's go, Beavs. Let's go, Beavs. All right, this is going to do it for me. I'm CJ Baumgartner. This is the Morning Sports Desk powered by Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. We'll see you next time.
Powered by Wadena's Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. Follow the Morning Sports Desk on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And watch every show on YouTube.